So the topic is how to reach deep meditative state. Everybody's trying to improve the meditation experience, right? We want that it should be still. When we are in meditation, we are absolute still. Just like you can see in the image, the water is absolute still. You can see the rocks, the mountain. That means that's how we should be, truly reflective. The question is how to reach. Now, before we get into what we talked about, thoughtlessness, one important thing I would like to go over first, that if we really look into our body, the parts of the body, what are the purpose? The heart is pumping the blood, right? Kidney, primarily you can say you're kind of getting the waste out, purifying. Liver, detox, producing bile and for all the digestion and everything. Lungs, for respiration. And for the brain, thoughts, creativity, memory, speech, movements, a lot of things. But thoughts is the main function, right? We get our thought from our brain. Now, when we sit in our meditation, do we tell our heart that for next half an hour, please don't beat, you're disturbing me? Quiet, not a single beat. I don't think we can even imagine that, forget about asking, because we know if the heart doesn't pump for half an hour, what it means, right? So if we talk to kidney that, hey, for half an hour, stop purifying my blood, or liver, don't produce bile, or lungs, hey, don't do anything, no breathing, nothing for half an hour. I don't think we can do that. So why is it that we tell our brain not to think for half an hour while we are in meditation? That's its primary role. It's just like telling your heart, don't pump for the next half an hour. So how can we do that to brain? That don't do that. So that is the first fundamental that we must understand. So let's do a very, like it's just 30 seconds, fun stuff. So next 30 seconds, please, all of you, do not think about food. I hope you all can see my slide. So the question is, next 30 seconds, I'm just keeping the time. Please do not think about food, no snacks, no meal, no any kind of light or heavy snacks or anything, drink. For 30 seconds, we will not think about any food item. You can think about anything, but not about any particular food. Not a specific one, but just any food. Only for 30 seconds. So some more time, some more seconds, please. Do not think. No thoughts about food. You can think about anything else, not about food. All right. So how many of you were really able not to think about food? You want to raise your hand? Or you can say, who was able to not think anything about food? Okay, and how many of you did get some thoughts about food?
Can I say something?
Sure.
I didn't think about food, but nevertheless, the distractor is right there in front of us. So there's a visual perception, but consciously with the thought, I was able to take to my holiday, but then the distractor is there. But I never thought about food. So I
Right.
don't know, the visual distraction does it also encompass it? Residue of thoughts, I don't know.
Right. So see, what happens here is you are stressing out just so that you don't think about food. That's what happens when someone tells you don't do this, right? The more you resist, it persists. Anything that you resist, it persists. So now you are spending all your energy not to think about food for that 30 seconds. And imagine if someone tells you for half an hour, how much energy and effort you have to place in order not to think about that. So when we go in meditation, our main aim is to live in the moment. Whatever we do, we should be focused only on that. We are in this session, but thinking about tomorrow's session. We are in We are eating food and we are watching TV or reading newspaper. You are driving somewhere, but you are thinking about the meeting that you have once you reach your office. We all do that quite often, most of the time, in fact. So living in the moment is be only where you are, what you are into. And if we can have this clarity and be stable emotionally, that is one fundamental thing what we are trying to reach. And once we achieve that, you want to be like that throughout the day, but first at least half an hour, whatever. Then you are conscious of your unconscious mind. You don't try to stop your thoughts. Just don't place your attention or energy behind them. That's we keep talking about when we say about meditation. Now the question is thoughtlessness. So when people say, hey, during meditation, you should achieve thoughtlessness, and people get frustrated because they think, okay, I'm doing half an hour, and half an hour, I'm not able to resist or stop my thoughts. That means I'm not good, and they give up, generally. The thing what we should understand is what really is thoughtlessness. So your brain, because your mind, that's its job. It is going up and down. In this example, you get a thought, you realize, and you say, no, meditation, no thoughts, you come back to your breath. You come back, no thoughts. Then again, thought, no thought. So thoughtlessness is that moment when you do not have a thought before you get the next thought. So if we understand it this way, then one will not get frustrated that I am not achieving thoughtlessness. So for argument's sake, for 10 seconds, you were sitting without any thoughts. Then a thought came. You realize, say after 30 seconds or whatever, hey, I'm stuck with a thought. And then you come back to your breath. So again, another 10 seconds you spent really without any thought. Those 10 seconds, that's your victory. That is the thoughtlessness moments during meditation. You may get 5 such moments in half an hour. Fine, when you start with. After a while, this gap is increasing. So this gap of 10 seconds is now increasing. It will become 30 seconds. So yes, you are getting thoughts, but now less frequent. Your thoughtlessness has increased to 30 seconds. And after some more practice, you will see that now this gap has further increased from 30 to 60 seconds. And this process will continue, and over months, over weeks or year, whatever, depending on individual practice and effort, this window will keep on increasing. You will still have thoughts. It's a function of brain. Yes, if you are Sadhguru, if you are Dalai Lama, Buddhist monk who 24 hours, their primary function is spirituality, then you can achieve gamma state, which is much longer duration altogether without any thoughts. But we live a normal life. To truly achieve when full 1 hour, half an hour, you have no thoughts, you have to change the way we eat, the way we live, everything. It's not easy to say, I will live in my normal environment. I have TV, I have newspaper, I have family, I have everything, my job, and yet I can be like a Buddhist monk. There is a reason they give up everything for spirituality, because their purpose and need is different. So for a normal person to start with, look for the small window and be happy, celebrate. It's a victory. And now this victory, once you have realized, you will not get fed up or frustrated that I cannot do meditation. You will be in fact proud of and continue and keep increasing this window. If we expect right from day one that we will have 30 minutes good meditation, chances are we all will be frustrated and give up. But if you look for 10 seconds, 5-second victories, give yourself some time and let it go, then yes, you will have good feeling about yourself and you will achieve much better results. So this is what I feel is a way to explain thoughtlessness. This is how the process I understood, and I really like this way to understand, because then you will see more success than failures. People will follow it, people will succeed, they will achieve longer windows, but step by step. So this is what I mean by thoughtlessness.
Thank you, Jay.
And I think you had another part of your question. I think, uh, could you please refresh if there was another part? One was thoughtlessness.
So generally, we tend to multitask.
Affirmation.
Yeah, we tend to also multitask. A study shows that people who multitask tend to have, you know, dementia at the old age. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Uh, See, this thing, I can say one thing. Uh, these are different studies. So, have I myself researched or concluded? Then no, I have not gone through that topic in that detail. But different researches, they do point different things. Yes, because for multitasking, one thing is biologically for sure is there, which is women can do multitasking much better than men, and this is a biological fact, uh, proven by science. But just by that, if someone will have, so there must be some other factors, I'm sure, in that studies, which I've not gone through that studies, I cannot comment. But please continue. So what would be the question or doubt that you have about multitasking?
Because we are not focused, aren't we? Generally,
Ah,
we can multitask, yes,
yes,
but we can't try to do two different intensive subject at the same time.
absolutely.
We may tend to do chores or cooking or preparing and to cook, cutting vegetables and listening to something. Still, the attention intensity of attention is not ultimate.
Uh, Absolutely. Now, this one I can share great some my own examples, experiments as well, and I will come to affirmation as well to answer your the first question. I'm writing it out so that I don't forget. Uh, so, this thing is certainly correct, and that's why we say meditation means living in the moment. Because in our life we are multitasking in the sense I'm driving, but in North America, at least, this is very bad habits, and I was guilty of that. There's no way I can drive without coffee, and with coffee, sometime you are having breakfast while going to work. So you are driving, you are having your coffee, you're having your breakfast. It's totally wrong. You are watching TV while eating, and there goes your family. The time that you could have eating together, and the worst is there goes the value of food, because then your focus is on TV, not on the food. While cooking, if you are again watching TV or doing whatever, again, then the food is not getting the love, the benefit that you could get if you're focused in what you're doing. So, uh, again, not a question of religious or what, but yeah, I wear Rudraksh mala. And the reason Rudraksh like is known, it absorbs your energy and then it becomes yours. That's why you should not touch someone else's Rudraksh mala. And in the olden time, the reason uh, the people used to wear it, they were travelers, and you don't know whether you're a saint or whether you're a traveler, that you know different places, different water, different food, if it is good or bad. So if you take the Rudraksh mala, keep it on top of something, it will go clockwise. That means it is good for you. If it goes anti-clockwise, means it is not good for you. And that you can try on anything. So coming to sattvic food or non-sattvic food is very clear. It will go clockwise for sattvic, and non-sattvic is anti-clockwise. So for example, if you put on onion or garlic, it will go anti-clockwise. Means It is a negative energy. So the experiment that I was doing was microwave. Uh, Heard a lot of things about microwave, whether it's good or bad. Then I said, okay, let me try. So I tested the stuff before doing microwave. It was clockwise. I put it in the microwave, just 30 seconds, took it out. It went anti-clockwise. And it was very clear the energy is not good for me. Then all I did was just 10 seconds blessings. Blessing means prayer. So bless the food. Like, in olden days, you will see people will not eat just dinner or whatever food right away. They will, whichever way, they will bless the food first, right? They will show gratitude. They will thank the universe for having the food and then eat. So just quick gratitude, thanks, bless the food. Again, it went clockwise. So the negative energy became positive just by blessing. Then I thought maybe it was out of the microwave for so long. That's why the negative became positive. So then I did again and separated one quantity kind of with blessing, one without. So the with blessing went clockwise, without one still went anti-clockwise. So it was not the time factor. So it is so important that the energy, and especially the person who's cooking. This was another experiment, not by me, but one of my friend did. And the wife was cooking and she yelled at the cake because again, kids not doing homework, blah, whatever the reason may be. And then the first set of chapatis she made when she was normal and singing and cooking, it went clockwise. When she started yelling at the kids for not doing the work, it went anti-clockwise. Nothing changed in the raw material, the process, you make the chapatis. But at that time you are angry, you are upset. So your energy goes in the food. So what you're saying that, we are multitasking, absolutely. Is it hurting us? Absolutely. Are we aware of it? I don't think so. Not many people. So these experiments shows that, if we do something with our focused, full attention in that process, it really enhances the energy of that, whatever that is, whether it is work you are doing, whether it is cooking, whether it is meditation, anything. So multitasking, we think we are smart, we are kind of optimizing our time, but actually we are hurting ourselves. We are eating, but that food does not have as much love affection as it could have been if we were focused while cooking. And then whatever is cooked, we are not even focused while eating. Worse. So whatever is there, we are not even taking advantage of that. So yes, a bit of off topic, but when the discussion came, so I thought I'll just add on to that yes, it does impact.
Thank you so much. It just tied all the dots because I'm aware of this, and my sister does not really believe in God and all these things. And I told her to try. I sent her the video on the Rudraksh done by Sadhguru, and she came up with one very interesting thing. Finally, she says, "I think it's your intentions." So it does make sense because at the end of the day, your prayer, your thought process actually energized the food and it became edible, energized food. So because you're throwing it out to the energy, it does make a lot of sense. Thank you.
And just to add to that, before I get into affirmation, I don't want to forget that part of your question. But if you go, doesn't matter, who you believe in, what you call God or which God and all that, any place of prayer, if you go and if you eat anything, if they are offering as a prasad or whatever, whether it's Gurdwara, Mandir, church, masjid, doesn't matter which place, if you go and eat the prasad, it tastes totally, totally different. It is so yummy kind of thing. Why? Because generally people over there, they are the people who are making, who have devotion, who are not there by force. They are there by choice. So they are placing not only their attention, but their full, faithful devotion into that, whatever they are cooking. So it's not that it is full of rich cream and this and that. No, it will be a very simple food, but it tastes a lot better than any restaurant food. And that's the reason, because you have that positive energy into that. So it makes big, big difference in our life. So coming to affirmation, I just want to clarify one thing that yes, I highly recommend you think of your affirmation before meditation. And I do that myself, but that is only for seconds. If you have a vision board, think of it even better because you don't even need 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds enough because you have symbols. Same thing I do chakra meditation, you use symbols in that. So what it does is it brings your intention, your wish, what you want from universe, and then you do your meditation. So now after that 10-30 seconds, you are not thinking about it for the next half an hour, 1 hour, whatever your duration of meditation is, only for 30 seconds, because it is kind of recapping. And now when you're in subconscious mind, that information will automatically go. That is the purpose we remind ourselves before meditation. But after that, nothing. You do your affirmations whichever way you do. I personally do before going to bed. I will write it down in the journal, and it has its own benefit. You can do when you wake up or verbally in front of mirror or whatever. But writing and before sleeping is very powerful because it takes it to conscious mind while sleeping. And I can give like n number of examples, my own, or like you keep hearing from others that how their affirmations come true from most unexpected direction, from most unexpected ways that totally surprises you. So affirmation is a very simple thing. You are wishing whatever you want and it's coming true. I mean, it's nothing less than a miracle or magic, whatever you want to call it. So that is the affirmation side, what I believe and what I suggest everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been really